Take one. Mark. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to another edition of Point Counterpoint, where we debate burning NASCAR issues. My name is Bassmasters. This, my friends, is Jerome Buzz Cutler. And we've got two gentlemen sitting here on our screen. You've got Jamie McMurray, and I've got Juan Pablo Montoya. And the question on the table, Cutler, is which one of these guys, if either one, will make the chase? Right, and it's a really interesting question because they both sort of have the same dilemma facing them this coming season. They both showed a lot of speed.
Yep.
Their 7 collective polls attest to that. They each won races, yet neither were very consistent, and that's why they missed out on the chase. I did a little statistical digging this morning, and it was interesting to find that Jamie McMurray scored the same number of top fives this season as he did in 2004 when he finished 11th, 9. Yet in 2004 he had 23 top 10s, the same number Jimmy Johnson had this past season. Jamie McMurray this past season only had 12 top 10s. Therein lies the problem, and I think you can say it's the same problem for both these guys.
It is, but I see their problem a little bit differently in this sense, Cutler. I see Jamie as a guy who's fast and capable of winning races at some tracks, but then not that fast at other places, just seems to miss it. Whereas Juan Pablo, I think, is consistently more fast, but then has more wrecks, problems, and bad finishes, out bad finishes. Juan Pablo kind of reined that tendency in last season, or 2009, I guess we should really say now, and was able to make the chase. But this past season in 2010, not able to rein that in, maybe trying to get too much. Whereas I think Jamie needs to take those days when he's not the fastest car on the racetrack and run up there in 15th, or get a 12th, or get a 17th, instead of running like 27th.
On the other hand, we saw Jamie McMurray win on 3 very different ovals last season.
Yep.
We have yet to see Juan Pablo Montoya
He's been close,
win
though.
on an oval. Yes, and every season we've said this is going to be his breakthrough season when he finally puts it together on an oval. He hasn't done it yet, unless he can get a couple of victories on ovals. Yes, he might make the chase again, but he's not going to make any noise in the chase. So in that
Jamie's
sense,
been closer.
In that sense, you would say Jamie McMurray might be a little bit more poised to make the chase.
You might say this. Juan Pablo seems to have perhaps more raw talent. I mean, I think that's the sense I get.
Juan Pablo's
but
talent.
Jamie's been closer. I mean, if the chase had been 12 guys in the first 2 years, Jamie would have made it both times, right?
I know he would have made it in 04.
He finished 11th and 12th in the standings in the first 2 years of the chase, in 2004 and 2005. So I don't know if he was in that position with 10 races to go, but he certainly would have had a good chance to make the chase with a 12-man chase instead of a 10-man chase. Well, we might go to a 15-man chase this year. Who knows, Cutler? But Juan Pablo, if he does put it together, it strikes you that he has more potential to actually run for a championship. Witness what he did in 2009 in the first few races of the Chaser. He was carding top 5s every week. So I think it's an interesting question. But for Jamie, I think it's consistency. For Juan Pablo, it's more avoiding those terrible finishes.
It's patience.
Exactly.
And I guess the other fundamental question is, will Ganassi still have the speed advantage in 2011 that they seem to have from time to time in 2010? And I think that's a big question.
It is a big question. You know, a lot of that perhaps related to the engines. We know those Earnhardt Childress racing engines that they use and that RCR uses were pretty darn good last year. Have the other teams caught up at all? And if that advantage disappears, what will that mean for these two guys? It'll be interesting to watch them. I think one of them is going to make the chase.
All right, bottom line, you're going to say...
Which guy?
Yeah.
I'm still intrigued by the Montoya talent. I think Montoya is going to be the guy.
Yeah, it's hard to argue against that, but
Plus, he's on my side.
I am slightly leaning towards Jamie McMurray just because, well, he's on my side.
Just like Nationwide. Me too, Junior.
Me too, Junior.
That's for another day, Cutler.
Yeah, we got
that's a
plans
little foreshadowing.
For that
We got some plans for that one. Until next time.
Don't I look like Pops?
You do look a little bit like Pops. Well, he looks a little younger, though.
Here's the next point, counterpoint. Do I look more like Pops than you do like Junior?
Ah, good question. And I would say yes. For Buzz Cutler, I'm Bassmasters. We'll see you next time right here on the program.
With these guys?
No, some other guys. You like our TV, by the way? It's the first time we've used our TV.
It's new.
It's cool.
And
what?
AJ Allmendinger.
Yeah.
You'll be pleased to know we bought it at Best Buy.
Yes, we did.
Rowdy.com. Say it like it is.
Say what like it is?
Rowdy.com.